How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Blade. First of all, I just want to thank you for all the support on the last video. We're here at a school, Thursday morning, 7 o'clock. We got some grass to cut. So if you're a regular viewer or subscriber, you already know what's going down right now. We start off with the outfield to give us some space to turn around at the end, and then I can start with my stripes. Now at this point, I've beat Ash to a school to try and get cracking before he arrives, and well, that's how far I got. Morning!
Morning!
So after having a catch up with Ash, I jump straight back in the tractor and start getting some more stripes down, and the sunshine is making those stripes look nice and vivid. But it's not all sunshine, I do have to jump out to move some goals along the way. So whilst I'm doing the large area spaces, Ash is on the right doing all of the fiddly bits that I can't get to. And once I'm done, I just do another lap of the outfield to get rid of any turn marks. And there we have it, a nicely striped field. So Ash is still on the right because he's still got some work to do, but I jump straight on the leaf blower and tidy up after ourselves with all the hard surfaces. Then I jump on the bowcom trike. If you've not seen this before, you're going to see it plenty of times today, and get all the rounders and the shot put etc. done, ready for Ash to do the athletics. So I jump back in the tractor, head to the next site, get the safety chain off, drop the trimax, get those revs up and turn the PTO on. Now there's 3 sections to this site, but I start with the smallest section, starting with the outfield, and managed to get some beautiful stripes down, and before you know it, I was done. There's no rest for the wicked, so I jump straight back on with it, heading to the next section, which comprises of 4 football pitches, and whilst I'm about 3/4 of the way through, Ash has turned up after doing his athletics track, and he starts doing the outfield and all the small bits with the right. Oh no, it was all going so well, wasn't it, Ash?
Yes.
Luckily I'm doing this video straight after we've sorted it out, so it's all good, but there's a pin that holds the 3-point in right at the bottom, just under there, and a bolt would come out of it, and this was loose, and then by the time Ash shouted at me and waved me down, it had basically come out. But we found a bolt, it's bolted up, I've checked the other side, everything is all good. Let's get back to cutting. What are you doing sat down? We've got grass to cut.
Just looking through Cutcrew competition, see what I can win next.
Have you added the headphones to your cart?
Not yet.
Well, make sure you use code YouTube to get a free entry.
Doing it now.
So while Ash is picking his answer to the question and his lucky number on Cutcrew competitions, I jump straight back onto the lawn mowing because I'm behind while we're about to sort the 3-point out. Luckily we've got good ground conditions, so I can up that ground speed, and I managed to get it finished fairly quickly and head through to the last side of this site. It's a bit of an awkward layout this side, so I always start off in between the pitches, and as you can see, Ash has jumped to the other side to get it line marked, and then I can carry on putting my stripes down, working around obstacles. And with the grass cutting done, Ash returns to get started with the marking, and he's got a fair few pitches to do. And if this is the first time you've seen this channel, this is the bowcom trike, and we use it for all of our line marking and over marking. It allows us to overmark with high precision extremely quickly. So at this point we've not got much left, so I get prepped, ready to move to the next site. And when we get to site, classic rock, paper, scissors to decide who's mowing. So with Ash manipulating my brain in the game and winning the right, he cracks on with the mowing, I do the stringing and then the blowing and get myself tidied up. Ash is still cracking on the right, getting some lovely stripes down, and bit by bit we're nearly completed on this job. So with this site done, we get packed up, and I've got to leave the tractor at tomorrow morning's site, so we head over there to get parked up. So imagine that I was meant to meet Ash. I'm driving a tractor, so he should have beat me here. And he reckons the sat-nav has taken him up the M1, so now he's half hour away. Now, Ash, I know for a fact you forgot and started going to the unit. Now I'm sat here like a lemon waiting for you. We got stuff to do, man. Chop chop, we're running out of sunlight. Anyway, once Ash finally gets to me, we're heading back to the unit. I've got to fix the trailer plug, get the kit ready for tomorrow. I'm up early for BNI, so we shall see you tomorrow. So Friday morning arrives, I get one of my BNI pals to pick me up to take me to BNI, and after the meeting, Ash is waiting for me, ready to go to the first site of the day. And we are on site. I've not put my high vis back on yet because I don't want to blind anyone at a BNI meeting with high vis. We're at a new parish council that we've signed. This is our first cut. Ash is just getting all the kit off. I've just been to the clerk to get the keys that we need.
So we get all of our kit, literally all of our kit, out of the van, and I head back to the tractor to start the large field. And there is so many obstacles, so I have to do it really, really slowly, ensuring that I don't make any damage to the bits and bobs. But luckily there is a wide open space in the middle, and Ash has already started to string up around the obstacles. Once I finally get to that wide open space, I can turn the ground speed up a little bit and start cracking. The rain starts coming down heavy, and this is really, really long grass, which hasn't been looked after in a long time, but we start getting through it. Once Ash has done the trimming, he jumps on the right foot all in the middle bits.
Where are you going?
That's what happens when you hit a little bit of poo.
Right, so what's the matter with you?
I'm going to get James.
Why?
Because I'm not smelling a dog bleep all day.
Well, you might as well wear the coat until you finish the dog poo.
Yeah.
So after Ash's little poo shower, we crack on and get sorted and all the bits done.
Right, we're all done with the main playing field. This has not ever been covered by a contractor, and it was all volunteers. So there was a lot of areas that were unkept and needed trimming. Spent a lot of time getting it to our standard, and we are now going to head to the cemetery, get that out of the way because we know that's going to be a bit of a chore as well, and then we'll continue to do the rest of the village. But we are making progress.
So judging by the state of the playing field, we decided that the cemetery would be the hardest thing to tackle first, so that's where we headed. We're leaving loads of room around the graves, and as you can see, we're having to cut this like 3 times to get any decent standard out of it. We've just got to be really careful because obviously there's sentimental bits around it. Ash finishes the right, and then we both have a strim up and start cracking with the trimming. And with one side done, there's just one more side to complete. And it's only fair that I jump on the right this time and do all the mowing whilst Ash starts the strimming. With all the strimming done, it's time to have a really, really good tidy up of all the hard standings, and we blow the graves down. Once we're done, we can move on to the village, and again, everywhere is so long, so spending a lot of time mowing and tidying up, but we finally find a place where the hustler can stretch its legs. If you've not seen the Hustler Super 104 before, this is the stuff it loves. Look at the finish it's leaving after one cut, and this is mega long grass. It just eats it up for breakfast and leaves a lovely finish. Find more places where the Hustler Super 104 can stretch its legs. Oh, and some fresh lamb. So Ash checks the map for the next victim, and unfortunately the Hustler can't stretch its legs because it can't fit in this bit, but we do find a way to stretch its legs on the way back to the van. A few more verges, and there we are, there we have it, packing up for the day.
Saturday morning, we're at the mighty Find and Volta. We've got the tractor and we're going to try and put some fertiliser down. So we're also here line marking, but we've just got to be careful of what pitches we've marked, not to damage the surface. Obviously these have just been disc seeded as well, so we need to be extra careful, but yeah, gonna crack on.
So who needs GPS when you have Agri-Ash? I get Ash to pace out half of the boom to give me a datum point for the boom sprayer, and then he paces them out again to show me where the middle of the tractor needs to be, and this is so important to make sure that we don't over-fertilise any area of the grass. Now boom spraying is kind of the same concept as knapsack spraying, apart from you've got a lot more nozzles and you've got ground speed and pressures that you've got to calculate. With all this calculated, we crack on at the correct ground speed, the correct pressures, ensuring that these pitches are fertilised to perfection. If you've not worked it out already, we're using a liquid fertiliser on this job rather than a granular, and that's because we want to penetrate the root system as soon as possible with a little bit of wetting agent if possible. So we're finally on to the last pass, and we're about to find out if our calculations were correct. We should finish with absolutely nothing, and I can tell that we're getting near the end because the pressure starts hunting up. And as we cross over the line and jump out, check the tank, and there we have it. Absolute perfection. And with the tractor work done, Ash jumps back on the Bocom trike and gets the pitches that we can mark line marked, and anything that we can't line mark, we're putting datum points down, so if we do need to string it out, if Roy's not working, we know where we're going to. I head back to the unit, and that is Saturday done. It's Sunday. I'm at work. I've actually been at work since 6 this morning on the laptop sorting bits and bobs out for Cutcrew competitions. We had a little bit of a bug with the checkout and I've managed to sort that, and I just want to thank anyone that has entered. I have reached out to you if you had an issue. We've managed to resolve it, so I just want to thank you all for your patience. Anyway, I'm at the unit. I've got a load of truck up with all the seed. Today I've got a lawn care visit this morning. I've then got some grass to cut, and then we're jumping in the tractor back out with the seeder to do a football pitch, overseed and fertilise. So yeah, busy Sunday. It's my birthday weekend next weekend, and it's also Ash's birthday, so I'm trying to put in the work now so we can have a little bit of time off next week, and it's got to be done. So get that seed loaded up, get that trailer hooked up, get cracking. So by this point I've already gone to the lawn care visit and I turn up to the first job, which is a large acreage lawn that we've got to mow, and I get the Hustler straight out, and the Hustler Super 104 in all its glory, in its favourite environment. Now we get cracking and we start off with the customer's grassland racetrack until, well, so unfortunately for me, there's a mains water line that runs from there across this way to that drain, and I've got a sneaky suspicion it might be leaking because the water is fairly localised. I use the tractor to pull the Hustler out. So I've definitely made a little bit of a mess. I've notified the customer. Next time we're here, we're going to fill this in with topsoil, roll it all out and put some seed down. I've let him know about the pipe, and actually it's already been reported. So I should have checked in with the customer when I first got here. However, I'm going to set a safe zone with the Hustler, not go anywhere near that anymore. Let's get cracking. So with the palaver over and my pride dented, I can start my stripe therapy, and the Hustler's stretching its legs in all its glory. And the great thing about the back wings is we can move around any tight obstacles, getting good coverage under trees if we need to. The Super 104 is so easy to manoeuvre, it hardly leaves a mark on the ground and we can just keep going. Now this is what I'm talking about. We can get right underneath any tree, especially when they're in bloom, and not be smashed in the face by a branch because of the size of those bat wings. With all the Hustler work done, I jump on the customer's Husqvarna to do all the tight bits, and then it's time to get the Hustler back on the trailer, loaded up and heading back to the unit. So as soon as I get back to the unit, we get the Vredo compact disc seeder onto the back of the tractor, and I've got my friend Will with me, the mechanic that saved the day with a verti-drainer, because he's got to drive the Ranger. That's full of Barenberg seed from George Davies. So we've got about an hour's drive in the tractor to site, but when we get to site I get the seeder dropped onto the ground and balanced, and we get it filled up. Another issue. Just dropped the seeder on the back of the 3-point, and now the 3-point won't raise or lower or do anything. So check the fuses, but I'm pretty stuck for ideas. Luckily Will did come in the Ranger, so worst case scenario we can lock the tractor up and leave it here. But I need to get this sorted because we need to do this job. Yeah, running out of ideas now. Contacted someone I know that may be able to help, but... And help they could. All the 3-point harness needed was a little calibration. So we got that calibrated and it's fully working again. Will sets the seed rate for us, and then we can attack that pitch. And we're starting off with a nice straight line on the edge, which is going to set the tone for all the parallel lines that we just see straight after. So if you remember us disc seeding before, you've got to do it in 3 directions to get maximum coverage, and once I get near the goal mouse I work my way around them to ensure they're done, and then we crack on with the parallels yet again. Right, we're cracking on with it well. We've done 2 directions already. We've gone that way and that way, so one more direction and then we can fertilise it.
A few moments later.
We're all sorted, 3rd pass done. I think it's just coming up to 7:30, maybe 7:45. Yeah, 3rd pass done with the seed. Now I'm going to fertilise, but it's probably going to get dark and I want to get home because I've still got an hour drive in the tractor. So we shall see you tomorrow. Morning.
Morning.
Ready for a good day?
Yeah. Busy day.
Busy. So seeders off, trimax is on, van's all loaded up, so's the trailer with the mowers, and we head to the first site and get the trimax dropped after greasing it, whilst Ash is prepping all his kit ready for his bits and bobs. So we've got an athletics track to pit in today, so we need to get the middle of the field mowed as soon as possible because the athletics track is fairly time consuming. So I crack on with my stripes, stripe by stripe, getting them laid down, working around the obstacles and sticking to my usual routine. Having to slow right down behind any obstacles. I'm normally doing about 1 mile an hour at this point, checking the edge of the trimax isn't going to clout any metal objects. But once all of the finicky bits are done, we can get that ground speed back up and start mowing rapid. With Ash doing all of the little bits on the right, he's probably going to need the hustler for the other large areas. However, I am all done so I can get the trimax packed up and ready to go. And I can admire my beautiful Monday morning stripes.
So now I'm going to give Ash the option of either the hustler to finish the other bits or line marking. So,
Hustler.
awesome. So I'm going to jump on the line marker, get the athletics track done. Ash is going to be on the hustler. Let's get cracking.
So with Ash being the gent he is, he sorts the paint out and I get cracking straight away with the Bokum trike on the athletics track. Now Ash is having a nice elegant cruise on the hustler whilst I'm blowing my back out at 18 mile an hour trying to get an athletics track marked. Now anyone in the industry knows that athletics tracks are the bane of our lives in summer, but the Bokum trike makes it so easy, and once I've done all of the externals I can grab the hand lance, get that switched over and all the fiddly internal bits and just whip round and finish all of them.
So Ash is just trimming up all the bits around the edges. I'm going to jump in the tractor and head to the second section of this site where we need to get it cut and line marked. And then there's a third section straight after that.
So no messing, we jump straight on this and in no time we are done.
Right, we are all done and Ash is going to blow up after me as I leave because I'll probably leave grass on the floor.
So with 2 of the 3 sites done, I head to the next site and this one is the smallest one and it's fairly awkward so we have to do this at a low ground speed, but by the time I'm finished Ash arrives, which enables me to jump straight onto the Bokum trike and get this line marked. And whilst I'm line marking, Ash is obviously sorting out all the little bits on the right. I jump on the hustler, we get that down and there's a few larger areas around the site, travelling around the outside of the pitch not to ruin the stripes, and I head to them and get them cut. Now this area needed hand trimming, it hasn't been able to gain access in a while so it's been nice to get that done.
I've just been around the site and done all the strimming, blowing, tidying, any little bits of hedge work that need doing. Got the trike in the back of the van, so when Ash is done, we can literally get both of the mowers on the trailer, get the tractor parked up, then both jump in the van and head to the next site.
So having already done 3 school sites this morning, we get to the next site. Whilst Ash is getting the kit off, I string this bank up. Ash catches up with me and starts mowing, which enables me to head back and grab the hustler. So with the hustler collected, I start stretching its legs whilst Ash is doing all the little bits on the right, and there's a few little bits that need hand stringing, like this ditch, so I'm cracking on with that whilst Ash can carry on with all the right work. And we find a good balance between strimming and blowing and mowing, and we find more areas for the hustler and the right to stretch its legs.
What are you looking at?
Charity driving range fundraiser.
So we're doing a post fundraiser after the half marathon, so if you want to come along and meet me and Ash, link will be in the description. There's a voluntary donation on the Eventbrite page. Just check in there and come along and have a laugh and raise some money for charity. Let's carry on.
We love little parishes like this because we've got all the equipment to fulfil, and also they're always next to farms, which means we can absolutely drool over this beast. So Ash is trying to find 2 trailer park girls going round the outside, round the outside, and round the outside, whilst I'm stretching their legs on the hustler in a nice straight line, getting those stripes down to ensure this park is lovely. And Ash is still going around the outside trying to find the trailer park girls. With no trailer park found, we get the kit packed up. Okay, it is Tuesday morning. I was meant to have like 2 or 3 meetings this morning. I've already been to one. I've had to cancel the rest because we've got the seeder coming, and normally there's a telehandler in the yard, and Ash has had an issue. The telehandler's not there, so I've got to run back because I've got the tractor key. So hampered plans a little bit and put us well behind, but it's how you deal with it. Let's crack on.
So with the seeder sorted out, we're massively behind, but we get all of our stuff together and head to the first job.
We are on site and we are at a planting project. We've actually been here for a while, but the meetings I had to cancel this morning. I just jumped on Zoom and sorted out now. Ash has already cracked on. We're planting more trees. Let's get it.
You already know how this goes down. We get the stakes marked out and banged in, we get the whips planted up, and then we get all of the guards out and we protect the plants. All 450 of them today, and we're making up for lost time.
And we are on the way back to the unit, but first of all we are at Mower Garden Machinery because...
So we got some mega big news coming to the channel, so why don't we show you what's going on? Yes, that is a Hustler lorry, and yes, they are some mowers. So let's show you what's going on, shall we?
And I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait till the next episode to find out what that is and why we have it. So make sure you subscribe to Behind the Blade and Cutcrew Ltd, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye. 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 Don't forget to visit Cutcrew competitions. Bye.